This is six-time IFBB Bikini Pro champion Brina Martinez, and I take ZMA5 to make sure that I get the zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6 needed to keep my immune system healthy and snap strong.
Dave, so when you get a fight, and you've been getting a lot of names to do bare knuckle. Recently you signed Paige Van Zant. Prior, the biggest fight I think you guys had up to this point was Pauline Artem. How do you convince them to do bare knuckle? Like, how is like that conversation? Like talk me through how you're able to get these fighters from other sports to come in and do this.
I at the beginning I had to do a lot of convincing, and now it's not. It's a lot less convincing. It's they see what we're doing, they see where we're at, they kind of see where we're going, and the only thing I really need to let them know, because nobody would really know unless I was to tell them, that the injuries are actually less in our sport than boxing or MMA. Less hand breaks, less traumatic brain injury, less eye fractures, less everything. The only thing we have more of is lacerations. Obviously, we have some more lacerations. But I mean, and when I'm able to explain this to the fighters and let them know, and they talk to other fighters, they jump on board very, very quickly. I think the thing is right now with our sport is, so take like a Paige Van Zandt, for instance, a star, a mainstream star really, but a star in the fighting world. But had she went to another MMA promotion, she would have just been in the mix of that MMA promotion. And I don't think she necessarily would have been a standout right now, because they would have said, oh, she just came from the UFC. Now she's in Bellator, for instance. Now she's in one, wherever that would have ended her up, wherever she would have landed. Here, the intrigue is there. She has a really lot better of a chance of really catapulting right now. Everything about her, she gets to show if she can really fight, number one. She gets to increase her popularity, and she will become obviously one of the biggest stars in bare knuckle fighting history right now, just by making her debut here. So I think there's a lot of positives for her in this, and a lot of ways to really enhance her career. And who knows how long this is going to last? It could be. We have a 4-fight deal with her, so we have a good deal on the table. But it might last 4 years, it might last 5 years. Who knows what's going to happen, right? I think this sport is just really at its infancy right now. I don't even think that we scratched the surface of where we're going to be in 3 to 5 years from now. So who knows? But it's a great addition. And what I was saying is, it's not really a lot of convincing right now. It's the product speaks for itself right now. It really does. The popularity of it, and the amount of fans that we're gaining is tremendous for us right now.
On the topic of Paige, when do you foresee her making her debut for the promotion?
She's going to fight February 5th, the Friday before the Super Bowl, at a location right around where the Super Bowl will be. So it's going to be a great coming out party for her. Probably pretty good star fanfare there as well. And her opponent will be picked in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We have a bunch of girls that are asking for that fight. Obviously, everybody wants to be in there with her, whether they think they can beat her or not. They think it's an opportunity to catapult their career as well. So we'll have that done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But absolutely, February 5th is going to be her debut for us.
And on that, I know a lot of fans have seen bare knuckle, and you mentioned it. There's a lot more cuts, obviously, because it's bare knuckle. Man, she's such a pretty girl. People don't want to see her get her face all cut up. I would imagine she's a fighter. She didn't bring any of those concerns up, or was that like a concern of like, hey, am I gonna get cut really bad in there?
She actually said, look, she's a fighter. She loves everything about it. She likes, she doesn't mind getting cut. She doesn't mind getting hit. And look, nobody wants to get cut, right? And, something's got to be wrong with you. You want to get cut. Nobody wants to, but she doesn't mind it, meaning she's a fighter. She's truly a fighter. The thing I really respect about her is this. She didn't have to fight for us. She was getting similar offers with other organizations, but she wants to test herself. And anyone in my book that really wants to test himself for greatness, they go way, way up on my, in my list, in my book. It's tremendous for her to have the guts and not really care what anyone thinks, and just do what she wants to do. She is, look, she could have a career in modeling or wherever else that could be. She was on Sports Illustrated, Dancing with the Stars, you name it, she's been there. So she had an opportunity to do that, and she's going to have the opportunity to do that. It's only, only maybe a scar. Look, not every woman or not every fighter in an organization gets cut. I mean, you're more prone to get cut here, but you're not guaranteed to get cut.
When you're thinking about who to bring in from other sports into bare knuckle, talk to me about that process. Who are you thinking of, and how is your thinking of getting opponents? Because you've gotten Paige, Nico Hernandez, who was an Olympian boxer who had a few pro boxing fights, is now fought for you guys a few weeks back. We saw Paulie and Artem. What's the process and the thinking behind? Okay, this guy I think would do well here, or let me try to reach out to this guy.
We're so new right now. We have a tremendous product. So let's just talk about the product for a second. It's the most, I don't care if you're a boxing fan, MMA fan, or you like this or not. You can't argue with me that it's not the most exciting, most fast-paced, entertaining combat sport out there right now. It truly is. It's just from the start to finish, it's nonstop action the entire night long. So it's that. So now we got to get eyes on the product, right? So what we do is we go out and we find the right guy, the right girl that's going to bring fans that wouldn't normally watch this to watch us. So that's really, what we're trying to find out there. We're trying to, like with Paulie. Paulie had a good story with Conor McGregor, and we had Artem signed. So obviously that was a natural fit. Paige Van Zandt was someone that no one, I don't care who was out there, they had odds on where she was going to go. And I don't think anyone bet on us. You know what I mean? Nobody thought she would land there. So she's landing here, and she's going to bring all her fanfare with her to us, which is great. So bring that big star in that we're paying very generously to perform and do what they're going to do. It's basically like a marketing budget, right? It's just expanding our marketing budget. She's going to market this for us, and I really think she's going to put on a hell of a show. But bring someone like her in, and then they get to watch all these really good fighters on the undercard, and then they become future fans of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and continue to tune in. That's really the model in what we're doing.
At this point, who are you looking at? Who else are you looking at to bring in? And do you have anybody that you're really, really close that we don't know about that you're going to bring in that brings what you're talking about?
It's such a competitive market right now with free agency. So I'm sorry to do this to you, but I can't really mention the names right now. But we have 2 former boxing world champions that I think are one of them at least everybody's going to do what they do when they sign Paige. What? How did he end up there? So it's going to be one of those. And then a couple other former UFC guys or current UFC guys that are about to be former that are going to move on over to Bare Knuckle as well. And that'll happen here probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So we're really excited about that. We also are in talks right now with former heavyweight champ of the world, one-time heavyweight champ, Lucas Brown. He's going to sign with us any day. We have a lot of other overseas fighters that want to sign with us as well. So, it's building up. It's really for us, Marcos. It's about having the staying power, having the power to just grind it out right now. So we're going through this terrible situation in the world right now with COVID, and being able to put on shows right now during this, and growing the fan base. Our fan base is still growing exponentially right now. Our Instagram, I think, went up about 100% just during COVID. So that's tremendous growth for us there. And we're just doing what we do, and we put on great shows. And we're going to get a lot better fighters coming on board, and we're excited. I'm really, really excited about the future of this and where it's going. I think it's going to be a tremendous 2021 for us.
The former world champion, boxing world champion, is he active or retired?
He's active. I don't think he's fought in about a year, but he's active.
Is he from the U.S. or is he from England?
He's from the U.S. and he's got a big mouth, and he talks great.
He talks great. Okay, there's some hints there. Maybe people watching could do the math and maybe figure it out.
He's had some troubles with the law recently a little bit too. Just give you a little hint, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Might have to text you a little bit later. My wheels are grinding now. It was rumored for a while that Mike Tyson might show up on one of your shows to do a fight. I know there was a fake Twitter that went in and announced the fight between him and I think an Evander. What'd you make of all that when all that was going on? And was there any validity to that he was being asked to fight in bare knuckle by you?
Yeah, he was absolutely courted from us. We made an official offer to him. It was a tremendous offer. We went back and increased it a little bit more. Great offer again. That was 100% real. As far as the fake Twitter putting out that he was going to fight Wanderlei Silva and then Evander Holyfield, that was all fake. That was never even talked about with us and him. He didn't want to. He just didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do the bare knuckle fighting, and I respect him for that. He's one of the greatest that ever did this sport of boxing, and probably didn't want to tarnish his legacy at all by doing something else that was gimmicky. Although this fight coming up, hopefully it's a fight with him and it's not a sparring session, because that would probably tarnish his legacy a little bit. And hopefully that's not what's happening, because everybody wants to see Mike Tyson fight anytime, any age he is. They're all going to tune in. So it was tremendous for us to it was really, really great for us just to have the opportunity to be able to be in a position from childhood. As I remember sitting there when he got knocked out by Buster Douglas and Chip Lampley, going, Mike Tyson has been knocked out, like hearing that in my voice and being able to actually make him a real legitimate offer to fight for my organization was, basically a dream come true right there, just to be in the position to be able to do that. He's not going to do it, but, we were on the playing field.
How was his reception to the offer, and how was that conversation like when you told him, like, hey, I have a thing called bare knuckle, we would love to have you fight over here?
The offer was received great. It was the bare knuckle thing. It's still very new, and if you haven't been a fan of it and really followed it, you might think it's a street fight or something that it's not. So he didn't jump out of his seat going, wow, I want to fight bare knuckle. He didn't do any of that. He just, it's pretty cool. I did watch some of the fights. I like it. I'm a fan, but I'm not interested. And, hat goes off to him. I respect him. It was great even being on the phone with his team and being able to present that offer to them.
Now, was anything ever sent out to Evander Holyfield?
No.
Okay, because I had heard that also through the Twitterverse that there was something.
There was Wanderlei Silva. I thought that if Mike Tyson was going to fight bare knuckle, I thought that the most intriguing thing for him to do would be to fight an MMA guy, because this truly is like an even playing field here, because you can do a little bit of clinch punching and things like that. So I thought that this was going to be kind of like the great equalizer right here, boxing versus MMA in this middle ground. And I thought it would be great for him to fight a former UFC guy, former MMA legend. But, obviously didn't happen, but there was a lot of buzz about it.
It was stated, and I just want to confirm that this is true, that the offer was like up to like 20 million for him to fight there.
Yes, no, absolutely. It was a little more than that. It was, with incentives and pay-per-view bonuses and things like that. It was an unbelievable offer. It really was. And I'm surprised we were even able to do that, but we put the team together and we were able to present that offer, and it was great. It was great. And, there's going to be somebody else that's going to come along that's going to be worthy of that kind of offer, and we're going to give it to them and they're going to do it. I know it, just because we're standing our ground here. We're growing, and we're sticking around through all the bumps and bruises and all the hills and valleys, and I think we're going to come out to be a major player in combat sports here in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say your guys' pockets got a little bit bigger being able to offer something like that to Mike Tyson compared to maybe a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we have a tremendous team here, great investment team that's backing this project, and the money's just not being thrown around. That was a thing that if we paid him 20 million, we would have got 50 million out of it. So it was the right kind of offer that was going to bring the right kind of return in. Now somebody else might want 5 million and they're only worth 500,000, so they're not going to get 5 million. It's just not going to happen like that. Everything that we do and every spend that we do is very, very well thought out, because the future of this company and the future of this sport really depends on that.
Last time I had a chance to really talk to you was during that build up to the Paulie and Artem fight, and I asked you, like, hey man, I read your story. I know this has been really, really difficult for you. You're having to fight off multiple lawsuits, having to fight off acceptance from the commissions in the United States. Has all that situation improved? Have you noticed that there's been more acceptance from the commissions and a little less pushback from everybody in terms of making this thing pop off here in the United States?
Yeah, absolutely. The commissions are really well received on this right now. they're really liking what we're doing, and more are voting it in. You know, right now we're legal in I think 7 states, but we're voted in, and I think we're voted in 14 states right now and going through legislature in those other 7. So I think by the end of 21, we'll probably have 20 states on board. So that process, I'm not going to say it got easier. It just got, it was a little bit easier for them to receive the information that I was delivering to them, because before they wouldn't answer the phone, they wouldn't call me back. Now they were calling me. So, you know, the tide turned a little bit, and it was great just for them to be able to hear me out. And you know, some reached out to me. Oh, I heard this is the next big thing, and we want to be on board for it. So that was tremendous. The lawsuits and things like that, and the haters, I'd say haters, that's just growing and growing and growing. That's not going to get smaller. That's going to get bigger. And you know, that's just part of this journey that we're on.
So the plan for 2021, you know, how many live event shows are you hoping you're able to do if this COVID stuff goes on a downturn and gets a little bit better? What are some plans there that you have in place?
Well, we're talking to a couple countries right now. We're going to definitely do global expansion. Whether we're there or not, we're doing a show December in Thailand. So it'll be our first international show outside of Mexico, I guess, intercontinental show, I'll say. Outside of Mexico, we're going to do that. Then in January, we're going to do a show in Russia. And in January or February, we're also going to do a show in England, depending if obviously COVID goes away there and they're able to do things. Right now, you can't do anything. In domestically or in North America, we're going to do 12 BKFC shows and 12 Total Line shows. Total Line shows are a feeder league show that we have, that we work with different promoters around the country to have some up and coming talent that we can, you know, kind of draft up into BKFC. So we're looking at a minimum of 24 shows in 2021 domestically, and, you know, half a dozen or so internationally. So we're going to be really, really busy next year.
Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you. If you don't mind, it's the Bare Knuckle TV app. Everybody go to the app stores and Google Play and download the Bare Knuckle TV app. It has all our content, all our past fights, all our library, and every live event for only $3.99 a month. Bare Knuckle TV app, bktvApp.com. Thank you, my man.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.